Hi everyone and welcome. It's a get ready with me. I love these videos. Today I am going to share with you, a couple of bloopers, but my simple easy look that I like to put on my face to just be around the house or maybe run a few errands. I hope you enjoy this. Hello everybody, how are you? Today I thought I would get ready with you or have you get ready with me as I just put together my kind of just stay at home face. I'm going to just kind of step you through what I do just to get a basic look. Oh, I can see all these hairs sticking up. I just got done washing my face with my face wash, toning it, and putting on my moisturizer and my under eye cream. That's what I've done. I usually do that, and then I like to let my face just sort of sit for about 10 minutes or so. And I put a little bit of, this is Dior lip gloss on my lips because I want them to be moisturized before I start. And so I just thought I would chit chat with you and spend the portion of the video just talking and letting you know what I'm putting on my face and what I do for the day. So grab a cup of coffee or hot tea or something, whatever. First of all, let me just say I found a new day sitting place that I can take my mom to. I'm going next week for a trial day. Oh, I can't even tell you how I feel, how relieved I feel that there is this center. I had to go yesterday. I'm attending a Bible study for the Lenten weeks, and it's every Tuesday from 1 to 3, and usually that time of the afternoon she'll just be, have her lunch, and then she'll kind of get tired and want to take a little bit of a nap. And oh no, yesterday I came home to what? The front door open and her walker outside on the front porch. So she doesn't have that good a balance. That's why she has physical therapy coming in once a week. And for her to open the door, and which is a big no-no when I'm not home, a huge no-no, and then to maneuver that walker out of the door, banging around, my dog, if she sees somebody walking in the sidewalk or she'll just take off. Oh, need I say, I needed to get on my knees and pray for patience because but anyways, just so happened, and it's not a just so happen, it is a answer to prayer, answer from God, that one of the gals in the Bible study said, listen, check into this place, blah, 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 gave me the information. And then before we left, she actually wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I made the phone call today, and I'm like, oh God, thank you, Jesus, this is what I'm looking for. Just one day a week, and 2 days if she really likes it, so that it's from 9 until 1. I can have that time, even if it means I just come home and just have my time. You guys, for those of you that have been caregivers, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be too dramatic, but oh my gosh. Anyway, that's the good news for the day. And if you're going to find joy in your day, to me, that's a joy. Okay, so let's get started with this get ready. First of all, I am going to put on some primer, and because it's a very rainy, overcast day all day until tomorrow, I'm not too concerned if I am outside about a sunscreen. I don't believe that this particular one has any sunscreen in it. This is Hourglass. I've used this for a number of years, and of course I'm just using my stash, and I just really like to rub it in to this area here because I just think it just helps with a really smooth application. And this is actually called mineral primer. And it feels really nice on your skin, and I like it. I like what it does.
Sometimes I use this when I'm doing full face makeup because this is Bioderma, and this is really good. I like to put it in the T-zone area specifically. But I'm not going to use it today because I don't need it. I just wanted to show you just what I do on a white day. Excuse me, what I do on a white day after I get ready with my face.
And basically, this is going to be what I'm going to use for my cover up. And this is NARS concealer. Love this concealer. A little pot like this will last a long time. And this is my Zova brush. Sorry guys, I don't have my glasses on. And this is number... what's the number? 110. Love this. This is my spot and dot concealer brush. These brushes were new to me at the end of last year, and I think I first saw them on a video recommendation from Lisa Eldridge. And what I do is I just pick up that concealer and I just dab it where I need concealing. And as you can see, it's the majority of my face because I'm not really going to put on any foundation. I'll say it's my 5-minute plus, you know, because I can't do it in 5 minutes. And then what I do, ooh, this is still a little wet, but I want to use this. This is that Tati sponge that I showed you in my most recent video. And I just dab it in. Now, I did wash it last night, so it's a little bit moist, but it's okay. It's doing its thing. I just tap it in. And then that's when I'll take a peek. Usually I use my mirror then, and you know, it just blows everything up like, ooh, you need a little more here and here. Now I can see I have a remnant of a little zit there. So I think I have enough still left on the brush, and I'll just dab it. And it gives me a pretty smooth application. I think I wanted to talk also to you about, you know, entering into the era of over 40. So let's just say that. Because when you're in your 30s still, and your 40s, you are raising your family. But as you approach those mid-40s and the end, most are starting to venture into a new phase, and you know, that's teenage and all that stuff. But kind of what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to do this as I'm doing whatever. Next, I have this little Tati sponge, which is really nice. I like it for in here because this tip is super soft and it really gets in there well. And you really do get a nice, smooth application with that Hourglass primer. Oh, I love that stuff. So that's done, and put the lid back on and put it right away. Next, I am going to do the cover up under my eyes. And today, I think I am going to just use my Radiant Rose. And this is MAC. Use this a lot. I like it. Tarte is good. That's another under eye one. And I do go kind of heavy on it. And I just let it sit for just a few seconds, not much longer than that, because by the time I get this one done, that one is sitting longer. And sometimes, because I did do that a little thick, I'll just start dabbing it. And this basically is to cover those dark circles. So what I wanted to kind of talk about is, you know, when I was a stay-at-home mom eons ago, it was back in the early 90s, late 80s. Well, I shouldn't say late 80s. I guess I should say, well, yeah, late 80s. I think I became a stay-at-home mom in 87, 88. My son at that time was just turn 3. Was getting ready to turn 3, and that's when we were deciding to have a second child, and then we knew we couldn't have any more. And so I'm like, well, why am I trying to justify wanting to be a stay-at-home mom waiting for a second child when I have one. And that's what my heart's desire was and what I wanted to do. And that's just a whole story how we came about that. And it was a lot of prayer, and that's pretty much how I cover up. If they're really, really dark and they bug me, then I do a little bit more. But for today's purposes, I think it's fine. So anyways, sorry, had a little phone call interruption. So that's about it. That's all I'm going to do for the eye area. And so next I am going to, I like to do my eyebrows. And what I do for my eyebrows is, and I do this, you know, all the time, every day. Let me just take out the stuff I need here. I use the Hourglass Arch pencil. Love it. It's a soft pencil, and I get a really just emphasizes the brows a little bit for me, and I love it. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna, you can see this is, I'm just doing the outline on the bottom and the top, and then I have to do just a little bit of fill-in. But those were the best years of my life, and coming to that decision took a lot of prayer, because there was a lot to consider. I had been working at a law firm in Fort Worth, Texas at the time, and got myself into a really good position as a paralegal with the office, with the firm, and you know, I could have retired there, but through a lot of, you know, prayer and, you know, what I wanted to do, I might share that, especially for, you know, younger moms who are trying to make a decision as to, you know, what they want to do when they start their family. I think it's a great story. It's a story of believing and faith, and it was just wonderful. But those were the best years of my life. I mean, I loved being a stay-at-home mom and being a room mom and participating in all the fun stuff, you know, that goes with school, and just being so present. And I loved it. I loved it. And I also loved the art of homemaking during that time period. And I still continue, because I guess that's just how I was brought up and what I witnessed and saw through my own family, my grandmothers, my great aunts, and, you know, what they did, and being a housemaker and what was involved. And my dad's two sisters, my two aunts, were just awesome cooks and bakers and housekeepers, and so that's what I was exposed to. That's what I saw, and that's just what was embedded in my heart. There's my eyebrows, guys. You saw I did a little bit of fill-in, and basically the top, the bottom, and just went over it just to get a little more emphasis. So anyways, things that were important to us during that time period is that I could stay at home, that I could be present in my son's life, that I would be active in school and in church activities, functionings, and volunteering. And I did a lot during that time. I ran the concessions when he was in, you know, grade school and playing sports. I took care of that. And actually, I came up with a recipe that I kind of named as flavored meat, and it's a dual recipe that is for baked potatoes or nacho chips. And to this day, and guys, that was back in like 96 or 97, 1996 or 97, that I started that for basketball tournaments that the school was having. We used it at, you know, different times for some suppers that they would have. And to this day, they are still making that flavored meat when they have their tournaments and their big basketball games, and serve these baked potatoes or nachos with this flavored meat. And someday I'm going to share that recipe with you. It's awesome. And actually, I just made it about a week and a half ago. And I kind of did a version that was lower in fat, and it tasted fine, you know, but it's really not that bad of It's got different like taco seasonings and just a mix of things that you would think, what? Beef, mushroom soup, ground beef. I used ground turkey, mushroom soup, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, cumin, just an assortment. And you'd be like, what? Ranch dressing. It has a big mix in there, but it is delicious. So if y'all remind me, I will do an upcoming video on that. And serving it over a hot baked potato or a bowl of nachos with, you know, just the accompaniments is just spectacular. So next, that's done. Eyebrows are done. I'm going to line my eyes. Sometimes when I do that, it kind of decreases that baggy area and just kind of puts the emphasis more here and just gives your eyes a little outline. Always check to make sure it's sharpened well enough so that it doesn't scratch on your eye. And this is such a beautiful liner. This thing doesn't budge when you put it on, and I'm pretty far away from being able to see it. See the, you know, I'm not using the mirror. And this is the 24/7 Waterline Urban Decay pencil. I don't think there's anything better. And then I just lift up. Usually I'm looking in the mirror, but I'm just going back and forth on my waterline underneath. And I think it just opens up your eye area. This stuff won't budge. It'll stay on. I mean, it's great. And now I'll just check real quick. Make sure I don't have any smudges. And, you know, sometimes it's just kind of nice just to run the Q-tip underneath just in case the pencil had any globs on it. Oh, I can see I missed a portion here. Yeah, doing it blindly is not easy. This is smooth. It doesn't, oh, I should have put this eye, ooh, allergies were so bad yesterday. Pollen was horrible. I spent all day sneezing, and usually when my eyes get that color, it's really bad on the outside pollen. But so this is my Tom Ford eyeshadow quad that I talk about all the time, use all the time. This is the Cocoa Mirage. I love it. I've been using it for a couple of years, and I'm just hitting pan on this color because I use this color all the time. And this, I just picked up my pencil here. I think this is a Morphe, and it's just dome shaped, and it's really nice for application. But when I was at home and doing all of that, it was a happy, joyful, peaceful time, and it was a poor time. I say poor, I mean, you know, budget restriction time. I shopped garage sales. I looked for, you know, the sales, the coupons, cooking, freezing at home, doing a lot of that because it was just cheaper, really concentrating on menu planning and stuff like that, so that I could stretch our budget. And I did a good job at it because that was part of my homemaking job. And, you know, it was important for us to sit down every night as a family and have supper together. Now, there were times we had to adjust it because of, you know, schedules at school, or maybe there's practice at this time or an event. And so you work with it and you work around it. But pretty much every night we sat down at the table as a family. That was the one time we came together and could talk about our day, and just, it was a great time. It was a very special time. I miss it. I miss it so much because it just seems like we're so rushed all the time. Or, you know, we're doing these get-togethers on occasion, you know, holidays or a birthday, or, hey, you want to stop over for dinner tonight? It's always so nice when you do that. But do we all have time? We're coordinating everybody's schedules for this, for that. And no, we don't always do that. But okay, so that's all I did was put that little bit of white on the lower and upper lids. I'm going to use this blush today, and this is the Chanel, I think it's called Pink Explosion. Yes, it is. And take the lid off. Been using this for a number of years. What I like to do is, no matter what coloring I put here, even if I go with a light brown, or today I'm just doing the cream, the white color, I take the same brush and I like to pick it up in the blush, and this is, dry blush. I guess you could do it with cream blush too. And I just like to put a little bit of the same blush color that I'm going to wear on my cheeks, on my eyelids. And this makes a pretty blushy color right on my eyes. There, done. This one needs to have a little more blending. It's simple, it's easy. And guys, it goes a lot faster when you're not sitting there jibber jabbering. But one of the things that we do is sit down together as a family to eat dinner. And that's something that's really even important to my husband because he's not here. He commutes with his work schedule and back here. And when he is here, that is something that he wants. He wants us to do. And sometimes I'm not ready to eat when he's wanting to eat. And he just likes that. Let's sit down, let's eat together. We pray together before we eat. We eat, we talk. It's nice. And he reminds me how important it is. I remember one time when my son was young and invited one of his friends over, and he was staying for supper, and we all got together, and I think I went in the dining room and just set the dining room table and put everything out super nice. And his little friend said to him, "Your dad sits down and eats with you for dinner?" And my son said, "Yes." And he said, "Oh, wow." And so, my son said, "Why?" And he said, "'Cause my dad doesn't." So in other words, they don't sit down together to have that one common meal. And it's important. And so, yes, I did all those things because our income was cut in half when we made the choice that I was going to stay at home. And I clipped coupons. It was a treat for us to go out on a Friday night and go, "Ooh, we get to go have pizza because this pizza joint is offering all you can eat for $3.99. So need I tell you how the pizza tasted? At the time, it was great, But I did my own, meal prepping, freezing, preparing, and really tried to stretch the grocery money. And it was a good time. What I want to say is, you just get to the point where, each decade is totally different and unique in and of itself. So when somebody usually poses a question like, "Oh, do you love your 30s? Did you love your 40s? What was the best?" I mean, some were more difficult than others. Some eras, but all of them were they were great. They were a way of learning, gaining wisdom, growing in many ways. But then you get to the age of 60 and you start hearing things relating to you, like AARP. And listen, they'll be nipping at your tail end, like way before you think they should be invited into your brain thinking. You'll get all kinds of information from the funeral homes about, did you make your funeral arrangements? Have you taken that burden off your family? No, I haven't, and I'm not interested in that right now. I want to live, okay? I don't want to be, okay, quit reminding me. Rip it up and throw it away. Social Security information, Medicare information. You need gap insurance. You need this, you need that. Buy into your plan. And all of a sudden you go, well, it's for me. It's me. It's not my parents' needs. It's not, what you hear the conversation, when aunts and uncles come to visit, and that's what they sit and talk about, funerals and insurance costs and, all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can't you talk about anything else? But, oh yeah, now I have those conversations with my bestie. Hey, did you hear about the new stuff that went into play for 2020 on Medicare and this and that? It's just like, oh no, we're there. And guys, I'm hitting that 65. So, yep, got to get myself doing that sign up for Medicare. But I went into a semi-retirement kind of phase when we moved from Illinois to Tennessee, and then I went ahead and under the advice of our advisor that we've used for over the past 5 years, when should I start drawing on my Social Security and what should we do with retirement and all this. So we're into that phase and we're doing those things. And, there is no guarantee on anything. If you listen to the news and the media and, what's going on politically, it drives you insane and crazy. So listen, God has always taken care of me, has always provided for me. And it is my job to be a good steward. Am I always? No. Because why? Because I want. I'm as normal and human as everybody else. But I also know He's good to me and He provides for me. And all of that is done according to everything I have has been made by Him. Everything I have has been given to me by Him. My faith. Let me say that. So that's kind of where I have been all of my life, in wanting to do things according to His will because I believe that He has written the script for my life. And I believe that I'm on this journey searching for how I can serve Him and, how to better myself and how to be like Jesus. And that's why this Lent I am participating in what's called the Red Letter Challenge. And it's been a great study so far. And I have so much that I want to learn and so much that I need to learn. So we talked about this yesterday, and I just want to say quickly, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better than I was yesterday. So, next, let's get back to this. I am going to next put on that same blush that I used up here. Why did I put it away? On my cheeks. And I'm going to use my I'm going to use this little brush. This is my Chanel blush brush, and I have the same color right on it because I used it. And I like, if you need to, you can use your 2 fingers as a measuring guide, kind of go on the outside of your pupil there, and cheek level, since I've lost weight, I can actually see the outline. And I like to start right at the outside apple, circular, pat it, and then sweep it upward. Just lightly. Just to put a little color there. Same here. Just kind of little circular and upward. Now, if I was really pale or my skin was kind of washed out, I would use a little bit of bronzer, but you know what? I normally don't when I'm just staying at home, but I will just do it and show you the little bit that I use just to add a little bit of color. And I do like using this angled brush. I'll show you in just a sec. It's my Chanel brush, and it is my bronzer brush that I really like. So I'm using this. This is Tom Ford, but you can use any. And what I first do is I just kind of squeeze this brush and I drag it in the middle and just kind of tap anything that would fall. And I kind of put it on the outsides of my nose here because I think it just kind of narrows that area. I have kind of a flatter, wider nose here. I don't have one of those cute upturned little noses. And then at the bottom, I just kind of brush it back and forth. Then I take the brush again, swoop it in, tap it out, and then I do the same thing with narrowing it a little right on my cheek outline. Just kind of dab it and then just bring it up, and then I take that same side up by my hairline and under my chin. So basically, the technique would be like a backwards E, if that's what you want. But I try not to drag it down into the apples of my cheeks. I do the same thing again on the other side, kind of just imprint it and then sweep it upward. And then I just kind of take it over on the upper part. I have a really wide forehead, and I think sometimes just putting a little bit of color looks almost just a little kind of you know, like maybe where I would, if I was outside and the sun was on me, it would have that shading. And that's it. I don't do a lot. I just do a little bit just to add that little bit of color. And boy, this is it's a great brush. If you save your pennies and plan for it, it's a great brush to have. That's it. That's just a little bit of color that I do. And then last but not least, it's not last, but for my eyes, I need a little touch up here because I see it rubbing off. So then what I do is I use a good curling iron, good eyelash curler, not a curling iron. Oh my gosh. And you could see I was able to put my lashes right in here because this thing is shaped so well, and I'll link it below because I know I'll say the wrong name on it. And I just put it on, press it down, and then I leave it on for, you know, 20-25 seconds, and I just gently squeeze it. That's all, so that I can get these stick straight little lashes to curl upward. So I'm doing that, and then I'm using a sample mascara, LANCôME. So it was a sample, and it is nice. I don't know if this came, where this came from, but I did get it as a sample. It might have been in one of my treat bags when I was shopping over Christmas holiday. So that's that. And next I do my very last and my favorite thing in the whole world, and that's to put on my Chanel highlighter. Oh guys, I just want you to be able to look at the difference, because I do think it makes a difference. This is an Ulta brush, and this one is the highlighter brush from Ulta. Love it. And I just swoosh it around. I have to do it quite a bit because I'm getting to the very bottom. Oop, that was too much. And I just take it here at the end of my nose, the tip of my nose, and then I just kind of do upward on the upper part of my cheek, just to get a hat, and then just kind of go underneath where I just put that little bit of bronzer there, and just kind of follow it down. And my chin. And I think it adds just a really pretty glow. I love this. And back to my story. Now I'm going to line my lips. This is Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, and this one is in Pillow Talk. Oh, I've gone through many of these. Love it. I always get the same one because it's very neutral and goes with just about everything and anything. Usually I will take off any moisture I have on my lips when I'm applying my lipstick, but I didn't today because I'm just going to use this to fill in, line and fill in, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do for today. No, I lied. I'm going to set under my eyes. That's what I end up doing, and for that I just use this little e.l.f. brush, you know, that I got at, I don't know, Target or somewhere, and I set under my eyes because my Radiant Rose has had plenty of time to sit there. I am going to use my Charlotte Tilbury. This is, oh boy, I've shown this a million times. Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Love it. You can see I use it a lot. And I will take my powder brush, my IT Cosmetic big powder brush, go around, and what I like to do is just dab around that T-zone area and up the top of my forehead and right here. I don't want to rub off my highlight, but just because that's where I am the oiliest, and I like to bring it down. And this powder does have a very beautiful finish to it. Very pretty. This is Evian, and it's called a facial spray. I picked it up at TJ Maxx. I did share this with you in a video. It is so refreshing. It feels so good, and I just like how my skin feels afterwards. And yes, it does go on wet. It doesn't like interfere with my mascara or my liner. It's just super, super nice. And I really like it. And now I just finished up with my Dior. I'll have everything listed below. And so this is my, really, if I wasn't yakking, my quick and easy makeup face. Just to hang around and, you know, now I just found out from that phone call I do need to pick up my granddaughter from school. So I do have to go out. So it's kind of nice that I look sort of ready. And so I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to chit chat with you about, I'm going to finish it off by saying I love being at home. I love being a homemaker. It's my jam. I never was one big on being career oriented, but I am one for anything you can do at home to earn money is great. And if you like working professionally and being at home too, that's great. I mean, the choice is there. I just think you have to make that choice for yourself, and you have to base it on what's good for you and your family, and you have to work it out. I think the art of homemaking is, homemaking is an art. Let me just put it that way. I think it takes effort. And it takes some doing, and it takes some creating, and I love it. I love it. And even though I'm a grandma now and I don't have any little ones at home that I'm really chasing around from day to day, I just have a big one that I'm chasing around from day to day. But that's my job. And, you know, it's just one of those things that I love it. And I still take a lot of pride in my house because I want it to just be warm and inviting, and I want it to just be hospitable, and I want those who enter into it walk away with a great sense of comfort. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this quick put together of my face. I'm probably smeared somewhere. Let me know. Until my next video, be kind, be humble, age gracefully. Bye.